We have with us Shri Onkareshwar Pandey ji, who is Chairman and Editorial Director, Observer Global Media Group, Indian Observer Post. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर. We also have Director of Murari Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. IV Basavaraddi sir with us. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर. Now let us start the program with prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It is my extreme pleasure to welcome Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey ji to this Friday webinar. आपका एक बार पुनः बहुत स्वागत है सर. And it is my pleasure to invite Director of Murari Desai National Institute of Yoga to this Friday webinar. I welcome you, sir, once again. And now let us talk. I would like to introduce today's speaker. Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey has 30 years of multifunctional, multi-sectoral experience while working across print, television, digital, and television news agency. He has worked as a group editor, managing editor, media head, and CEO for 10 times in all major media verticals in Hindi and English both. He was senior group editor of Rashtriya Sahara, managing editor of the Sunday Indian magazine in 14 languages, editor of ANI, India's largest TV news agency, opening anchor of Sahara TV, to name a few. Currently, he is CEO and editor-in-chief of Observer Global Media Group, New Delhi. He has authored and edited 10 books and has traveled to over 10 countries. He has been awarded with Atal Bihari Vajpayee Award and Lok Nayak Jai Prakash International Award for his contributions in journalism. He is a Google certified trainer on debunking fake news in media. He is on the board of several institutions to provide strategic 360-degree solutions for enhancing brand image, networking, and digital thought leadership. ये हमारा बहुत सौभाग्य है सर कि जो आज आप हमारे बीच में उपस्थित हैं. एक बार पुनः मैं आपका स्वागत करती हूँ. और अब मैं संस्थान के निदेशक महोदय डॉक्टर ईश्वर वी बसवरेड्डी से अनुरोध करूंगी कि कृपया अध्यक्ष जी उद्बोधन प्रस्तुत करें. सर.
ओम शांति शांति शांति. Today's esteemed speaker, Shri Onkareshwar Pandey ji, Editor-in-Chief and CEO, Observer Global Media Group, and my colleagues in the Institute, Dr. Vandana, and faculty members, student friends and yoga enthusiasts joining this webinar through various social media platforms across the globe. आप सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम. At the outset, it's my pleasure once again to welcome today's esteemed speaker, Shri Pandey ji. He is having a very vast experience on in his area of specialization, that is the media, and he is the editor. The topic today is yoga, women empowerment, and thought leadership. So how yoga can help for women empowerment and also to motivate them and develop them as a leaders. So I would like to mention from my side, because the esteemed speaker to throw new lights on these topics. But from my side, there are several, but three I found very, very important for any empowerment, for anybody who could take the leadership. First is and foremost is health. Health is more important. Unless I am very healthy physically and mental stability, and I cannot empower myself. So that's why the empowerment begins with the minimum parameters of health parameters, which will keep the person very active. That is the one thing. The second most important thing is education. We are talking about the empowerment, women empowerment only in the urban areas, metros. But if you go to the rural India, many women doesn't have the proper education. They don't know about their rights, and they have been treated as a slave till today. That means they are the housewives. They are born and brought up for only to do household works, cookings, and give birth to the child, and whatever the responsibilities to maintain the house. We give them the status of the god. So, but once we educate, they will learn what is the family, what is her responsibility, how she can work also. I am not denying the responsibilities of women, but at the same time, the sharing the responsibility and also making the person responsible to deliver. Education empower that. The education will help us to know us better and also to understand others and delegate the responsibilities and powers so that women can work under the privilege where they have their own likes, their own capabilities, their own comfort zone. Therefore, they can see the performance in a better manner. And third and last one from my side, any leader is to be developed a self-confidence. So challenges are the part of life of a leader. Self-confidence, self-reliance, self-development for excellence, that will make us a good leader. Therefore, the and health, education, and self-confidence, self-reliance are the fundamental principles, according to me, where women can empower and lead the leadership. So this is the important thing we have to understand. On these aspect, yoga definitely help us to achieve these three. Our esteemed speaker, I hope, will throw light on these very important dimensions of yoga for women empowerment and thought leadership. These few words, I once again welcome you all. I request Sri Onkareshwar Pandey ji to address us. Welcome, Mr. Pandey. Welcome to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I now request Mr. Onkareshwar Pandey to address us. Shri Pandey.
Thank you. First of all, very good evening to all those who are present in this webinar from the Raji Desai National Institute of Yoga and also from outside. It gives me an immense pleasure to address this important event as a speaker. I shall be delighted if my words and ideas on this topic could positively influence the lives of those who need a revamp and restart. I am Onkareshwar Pandey. My introduction has already been given, but I want to give a small brief introduction of my affiliation with this organization. Long back, when this organization was known as the Vishwaitan Yoga Kendra, I had got an opportunity to complete a diploma course under the Vishwaitan Yoga Kendra. At that time, it was called the Vishwaitan Yoga Kendra. And Mr. Dhiren Brahmachari was the founder of this organization. We had been interviewed here in the Ashoka Road campus, Golda Khana campus. And then we were sent to the Vishwaitan Yoga Kendra at Jammu, Katra. And we had a 3 months rigorous, training, which I still consider that to say golden period of my life. I could learn a very, very important thing, and I still practice yoga in my day-to-day life whenever and it is possible according to my life schedule and engagements routines. So I'm thankful to the Morarji Desai Yoga Sansthan for inviting me for this lecture. I have been working in the media since last 30 years, and I have worked in all 4 verticals of media. It's print, television, digital, and also news agency, both in English and Hindi. And after working in the various organizations,
नहीं हम गलत नहीं लिख सकते ना वो वेरिफिकेशन तो मंत्री जी आप लिखते हो तो मंत्री जी लिख सर
may I request to please switch off your mics. So my affiliation with the Morarji Desai Yoga Sansthan is very old, which I wanted to convey. Vandana, is my mic echoing?
No, sir, no, sir.
No, it's okay. Pandey ji, it's okay. Sorry for
It's fine, no?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you. Continue, please.
So after doing lot of work in the field of journalism, I thought to do something in the field of thought leadership, and I have developed several knowledge networks that is called Indian Thought Leaders, Women Thought Leaders, Global Thought Leaders, and also the Commonwealth Thought Leaders. We also have 2 other thought leadership networks. One is the Education Thought Leaders, and another is the Strategic Thought Leaders, where a lot of good people are there. In our Education Thought Leadership group, there are over 60 vice chancellors are there from various government and private universities. With them, we keep organizing different kinds of leadership events. Similarly, with the Women Thought Leadership group, we do organize national and international conferences. So that's why when Vandana asked me to suggest a topic, I said yoga, women empowerment, and thought leadership could be the best fit because she has already covered more than 50 topics in her daily, series of either daily or weekly. But it's a wonderful she has been doing. So I would like to congratulate Vandana also for continuously doing this. So let me briefly tell my audience that how yoga is often misconstrued in a sense. Not everyone is capable to imagine and incorporate true yogic practices in life, people generally say. Many hardliners differentiate between some branches of yoga. Some people would only focus too much attention on the bodily posture and gaining an ideal body. Others take yogic practices to an extreme level of spirituality that demands complete withdrawal of the senses from the physical world for extended periods of time. all the forms of yoga are beneficial to the practitioner, to the yogi. But in order to be in a leadership role in any area, you must learn to achieve a fine balance between these forms of yoga. In my view, yoga is not just exercise of the body with breath control techniques. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self, as has been described correctly in the Bhagavad Gita. Yoga is also a medium to support a person, whether men or women, to empower themselves through a strong self confidence and increase power in mental and emotional health. Our Hindu yogic philosophy aims to unite the self with the spirit of the universe, and this process gives us immense power and strength to become a thoughtful leader. We all know that thought leadership is defined as the expression of ideas that demonstrate you have expertise in a particular topic or subject which requires concentration or focus of mind, which is developed through yoga. And after developing that concentration, you work for development of your new perspective and thoughts on any topic of your choice to become a leader. However, it requires a step by step progressing approach. I will talk on this topic and suggest some tips today. It is said that inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Women have immense capabilities of profound emotions that can be both constructive as well as destructive in nature. Chaotic emotions can lead to self destruction and can cause a lot of harm to others. They can also serve ties of friendship and ruin relationship. One reason to inculcate the good practice of yoga is to take charge of your emotions. When you take charge of your emotions, you take charge of your thought process. A healthy thought process is the most important aspect of a great leader. Another reason why women must do yoga is that yoga in any intensity gives only positive results. A healthy mind in a healthy body. The spine is the center of your body, which should be as healthy as possible. A healthy spine can be achieved through yoga. The spine is the cosmetic center of all the life processes. And as Bob Harper has said, yoga is the foundation of youth. You are only as young as your spine is flexible. So, yet another drawback we see in women in general is that they tend to grow the emotion of envy sooner than they could develop the emotion of gratitude and the praise. Women become the enemy of another woman, a trait not so distinctly seen in men. Unless women learn to appreciate other women, leadership is a far, far cry. A flower does not think of competing to the flower next to it. It is just blooms, Jen Shiri has said. So meditation improves focus and attention span. So a little bit of meditation goes a long way. But please note that you need to adhere to strict principles to follow yogic practices. A simple form of daily yoga can transform your life beyond your imagination. Now, what is thought leadership? And what is the difference between a thought leadership and an influencer? There are key differences between an influencer and a thought leader. An influencer is someone with a large social media following that people want to be like, and their influence can get others to try the products that they use. As a thought leader, you are in position of your own influence and leadership, where you are sharing your ideas, your stories, and asking your audience to think deeper on issues and make a connection through building that trust with your community. So, thought leadership and thought leader is someone whose expertise and ideas are important enough to provide a new perspective. A thought leader can add value for others through inspiration and promoting change in their lives. Customers that recognize others as thought leaders describe them as trustworthy and credible. And customer could be anybody, whether you are in government job, whether you are in private job, whether you are in business. Customer is someone with whom you are interacting and dealing with any kind of topic. So yoga is a thought, and thought leadership is about thought and leadership, not marketing nor advertising. So now the question comes about the women empowerment. Women empowerment largely depends upon the women equality. Why gender equality matters for everyone in the world today? I would like to quote a research which clearly shows that the central importance of women's economic well-being to that of family, community, and society depends upon her equality in the society. And emerging data suggests that only 17% of economic and social protection policies implemented by governments across the world are gender sensitive. In India, we have been seeing that a lot of women empowerment activities and welfare schemes have been launched, and that is yielding the result also. The recently concluded UP elections, you have seen the huge women have voted in favor of the ruling party. So the need for more female leaders has never been more critical, and there is a never-ending catalog of data to support this claim. Women CEOs make up only 6.4% of the Fortune 500 list in America. We say that women are coming in corporates, women are leading the corporates. That's true. And we quote a few women leaders. But how many? What is the percentage? So the data says that out of 500 Fortune companies in America, only 6.4% are the women CEOs. The companies that boast a higher representation of women on their boards notably outperform the organizations that don't. So furthermore, studies have also outlined that companies with greater gender diversity, not just within their workforce, but directly among senior leaders, are significantly more profitable than those without. In recent decades, there have been calls for greater gender equality while enhancing the need to close the gender wage gap. And although tremendous strides have been made in this aspect, there is still a fundamental lack of women in leadership roles. Simply put, this doesn't seem right. So, what are the main challenges for female leaders? The first and most obvious challenge is that most of the people in the room are men. But this creates an opportunity for women to stand out and create a long lasting impression from the off. A scenario that appears time and time again revolves around building a supportive network in a space that males dominate. You must use this chance to seek both men and women as connections and mentors who will help you along your career path. It's very easy. Now you have social media in your hand. In your smartphone, you have all kinds of social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and so many others. But you will have to use that. Often with a full-time role, coupled with the additional stress of raising your own family, it can be hard to juggle work alongside personal life. However, if the pandemic has taught us anything, it is to create a healthy work and life balance, and also to use the internet and the digital media, social media. The social media was used during the pandemic for asking for help, and many people got the help through social media because that disseminates your masses across immediately. So one should take it positively, and one should, obviously there are cases of cyber bullying and other things, but you have your own right. You have delete button, you have blocking button, so you can use that if somebody is abusing, somebody is disturbing you. but don't stay away from that. Use it positively, use it creatively. That's my suggestion. The sad nature for a lot of women is that expectations can often be set lower. And the trick is not to see this in a dim light, but to change your vision and realize it's easier to exceed your goals and showcase why you should not be overlooked. If you have the over little confidence in yourself, which comes through yoga, which comes through the empowerment of yourself. First of all, a woman has to empower herself, that yes, I am an empowered person. How you will feel empowered? If your body is healthy, if your mind is healthy, if you have the knowledge, if you have studied well, you are a confident person. And if you are a confident person, nobody can stop you to become a leader. So women can often be perceived as more a women, editor in ANI. When I was the editor of ANI, the chief editor of ANI is a woman. So we have to work under her. And I saw that she was a better leader than anyone else, at least comparable to any men. So our yoga philosophy teaches that we have everything we need inside of us to tend to all of life's moments, from the happiest to the most challenging. When we slow down, get quiet, and pay attention to our personal wisdom, we can gain tremendous clarity about what we need to improve a situation, make a decision, or solve a problem. In other words, all the answer we seek exist inside of us already. We need only trust in our ability to access them. This philosophy counters our overly stimulating consumer driven culture. As a society, we are conditioned to work outside of ourselves for answers, seeking external validation of our decisions, feelings, and dreams. We are we have been taught to go faster, push harder, buy more, follow others' advice, and keep up the trends, chase an ideal. This need not to be. Yoga is not just repetition of few postures, as I said. It is more about the exploration and discovery of the subtle energies of life. As Mr. Amit Ray has said, yoga means what? You all know. Every day you talk about the definition, different kinds of definition of yoga. It means union in Hindu philosophy, union of self with the divine. It is only when we connect to the divine consciousness that we are capable of greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Through the yoga, we realize the oneness of our existence and our origination from a common source. This pandemic has taught us one single lesson. Everybody is born alone and everybody is going to die alone. So all the relations in this world, it has exposed what kind of relations we have. अगर पिता बीमार है तो पुत्र सामने नहीं है, पत्नी बीमार है तो पति नहीं है, पति बीमार हो गया तो पत्नी नहीं है. हर प्रकार के रिश्तों की पोल खोल के रख दी है पैंडेमिक ने. कि सच्चाई ये है कि जब अपने पर आती है, अपने मौत पर आती है, तो कोई किसी के साथ खड़ा नहीं होता, कोई भी नहीं. नॉट अ सिंगल केस केम कि ये बीमार हैं और हम भी साथ जाएंगे, उनको कोविड हुआ है. सो व्हेन द नेचर हैज taught you, every individual is born alone and they will go back alone, they will die alone. So once you learn to unite the self with the universal spirit, immense power flows in you and great strength begins to develop in you. Your focus improves, your attention improves, you gain newer insights and fresh perspectives for any given situation. This in turn inculcates unprecedented leadership qualities in your being, thus adding to your improved personality. But it is a step by step that requires a progressing approach. I'm giving some tips to you. How to become a thought leader. First of all, create a robust online presence. Online presence has become, very, very important for everybody. If you are not on the digital sphere, you do not exist at all. People will not come to know about you, who you are. So a robust presence on the social media is important because that has become a digital visiting card of yours. Also, many people do not understand what to post, what not to post, what kind of social media appearance one should keep. Still, we are thinking that using social media is just like a fun. कुछ भी लिख दो, कुछ भी पोस्ट कर दो, कहीं का भी मस्ती करो, मस्ती का एक जगह है. That can be one platform. Insta पे तरह तरह के फोटो को पोस्ट कर सकते हैं, Facebook पे कर सकते हैं, but there are serious networks also. If you are not on the LinkedIn, you are not a good professional. Any good professional will ask your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a serious kind of, network, and a lot of good people are there in any domain. You name the domain and you will get the good person there. Not only the junior level person, but the highest level, senior most level, up to the PM, president, ambassador, anybody, corporate leaders, the CEOs, CMDs, in academia, the vice chancellors, all kinds of good people, apart from the average people are there. So you have to build a robust, presence on the social media, and be careful while posting on the social media, because that creates an image about you. I had gone to interview a very senior person who is among the, India's top 10 architects. When I reached to he executes the, projects of worth 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 crores of worth project every year. So when I reached to his office and I tried to introduce myself, he said, "Mr. Pandey, you don't need to say anything about yourself. I know about you." I was really little amazed. I asked, how do you know about me? He said, "I know everything about you because I have searched about your, social media platforms, and I have seen how diverse things you have been posting, and so I know about you." And then I came to know that many important companies have now started interviewing you before you reach to their office for interview. They will check your social media platform. They will check your postings, what kind of posts you post, and they will form an idea about your level of intellect, your orientation, your social, political, and other orientation about you. So the 40-50% is done through your social media already, and then the 50% interview is done on the uh, practical mode. The very heart of yoga practice is abhyas, a steady effort in the direction you want to go, Sally Kempton has said. And in the social media presence also, you will have to do abhyas. In the empowerment also, you will have to do ek abhyas, one practice every day, how you want to empower yourself. And similarly, how you are developing your thought leadership. So every day you will have to develop yourself. प्रैक्टिस करके उसको डेवलप करना पड़ेगा. ये है उसका वो. So the another tip is flaunt high quality affiliations. What yoga says, yoga means addition to energy, strength, and beauty to body, mind, and soul. So while doing yoga, you add energy, you add, strength, you add beauty to your mind, body, and soul. So similarly, if you have to develop, if you have to empower yourself and develop a thought leadership, you will have to flaunt high quality affiliations with you. The third thing which I generally suggest to the people is to study, analyze, think, speak, and write. I have seen many people who have enough knowledge, who have studied a lot, who have analyzed a lot, who think a lot, but they do not speak, they do not write. If you don't speak and don't write, I will quote a Hindi, poet, ek कवि थे सर्वेश्वर दयाल सक्सेना, उनकी कविता की पंक्ति मुझे हमेशा याद रहती है कि जब इंसान मर जाता है तो कुछ नहीं सोचता और कुछ नहीं बोलता, और जो कुछ नहीं सोचता, कुछ नहीं बोलता, वो भी मर जाता है। तो इसलिए जरूरी है कि हमारे अंदर जितना नॉलेज है, हमने जो एक्सपीरियंस गेन किया है, उसको समाज को बताना पड़ेगा ना, वरना कैसे पता चलेगा? एवरीडे आपके प्रोफाइल को लोग चेक करते रहेंगे क्या कि भाई ये हमारा डेजिग्नेशन है, हमारा ये प्रोफाइल चेक कर लो, आप मान लो कि हमारे अंदर ये इतना नॉलेज है? ऐसा नहीं होता। तो स्टडी हो चुका, स्कूल से लेके कॉलेज, कॉलेज से लेके प्रोफेशन, उसकी स्टडी कंटिन्यूअस होती है। आज आज भी हम स्टडी करते हैं थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर्स, थ्रू द टेलीविजन चैनल्स, थ्रू द बुक्स एंड थ्रू अदर मीडियम, सोशल मीडिया। वी एनालाइज एवरी डे, वी थिंक, वी एनालाइज, वी आइडिएट। नए नए आइडियाज आते हैं जब आप थिंक करेंगे तो, लेकिन वी डू नॉट स्पीक एंड वी डू नॉट राइट. So until and unless you speak, you will say where to speak. There is no scope to speak. You will have to find कहाँ जाके बोलूं. अगर कहीं कोई जगह नहीं मिलता है तो सोशल मीडिया पे टॉपिक्स डिसाइड करके you can do this Facebook lives. You can create your own YouTube channels on a specific topic. If you have to develop a leadership in yourself, if you don't want to be a leader, then it's fine. You can stay back at home and you can enjoy your life. Similarly, writing is important. Every single article written by you makes you a good leader. उसके थ्रू जो मैसेज जाता है वो लोगों में आपके बारे में एक कॉन्फिडेंस जनरेट करता है कि ही और शी इज ए नॉलेजेबल पर्सन. सो योगा क्या कहता है? इनहेल द फ्यूचर, एक्सहेल द पास्ट. फ्यूचर को इनहेल करिए और पास्ट को एक्सहेल करिए. ये हमारा जो हम प्राणायाम की विधियां करते हैं उसमें है. ऑल्सो अपीयर ऑन सोशल मीडिया, टेलीविजन चैनल्स एंड पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म्स. जैसा मैंने कहा, लिखना जरूरी है, लिखने के साथ साथ आपका सोशल मीडिया अपीयरेंस जरूरी है. टेलीविजन चैनल में मौका मिलता है, वहां जाइए. वहां अगर मौका आपको नहीं मिल रहा है, पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे अगर आपको मौका मिलता है, आप वहां जाएं. लेकिन आप अपने को लीडर के रूप में डेवलप करें हमेशा, लगातार, और तभी आपको एक लीडर के रूप में रिकॉग्निशन मिलता है. हठ योगा में क्या कहा गया है? अकॉर्डिंग टू हठ योगा प्रदीपिका, एनीवन who practices can obtain success in yoga, but not one who is lazy. Constant practice alone is the secret of success. तो योगा से इतना सीख लें कि हमें लगातार प्रयास करना है और वो प्रयास करके आगे बढ़ना है. वंदना, अगर लेक्चर ज्यादा लंबा हो रहा हो तो आप मुझे बता दीजिएगा. आई विल वाइंड अप.
नहीं सर, आप
कैन यू लिसन मी?
हेलो
हाँ जी.
सर, जारी रखें, अभी 5-10 मिनट टाइम है हमारे पास.
5-7 मिनट है?
जी जी.
ठीक है, आई विल वाइंड अप इन 5 minutes. So the another tip is to become a thought leader after all finishing your yoga and continuously practicing yoga, empowering yourself through the knowledge, information. You have to become a thought leader. So you have started speaking, writing. Then you will have to try getting some recognition and try getting some award. That has been, the tips has been given by, the global thought leaders. That until and unless society gives you some recognition in any form. आज आदत है ना, जाके लिखवाते थे कि इनका अनुभव ऐसा है, हमारे यहाँ इन्होंने काम किया. एक रेफरेंस, पहले रिकमेंडेशन रिटर्न लेटर लेटर आता था, और टू whom so ever is it concern, वो हम लोग लिखवा के करते थे. आज वो लिखवाना उस तरह का नहीं है. तो हमें क्या करना पड़ता है कि हमें कोई रिकॉग्नाइज करे, और रिकॉग्निशन के लिए आपको ऐसा काम करना पड़ेगा. नॉट जस्ट कि हम किसी से झूठा लिखवा लें या झूठा रिकॉग्निशन ले लें, लेकिन आपको काम ऐसा करना पड़ेगा कि आपको रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाए किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में, किसी भी संस्थान में, या किसी भी इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सनालिटी के द्वारा. DK अयंगर का सबने आपने नाम सुना है. He has said that the body is your temple, keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. And if the body is my temple, I should pray, I should praise and get praised. The last tip is for a thought leadership is to publish a book. Whatever subject you have, कोई भी सब्जेक्ट, एकेडमिक्स में तो आजकल ये कंपल्सरी है, पेपर्स लिखना, छपवाना, किताबें, वो काउंट होता है, उस पे आपकी मार्किंग होती है। अदर्स डोमेन में ये कंपल्सरी नहीं है, लेकिन बिना उसके आपकी थॉट लीडरशिप को कोई सीरियसनेस नहीं आएगी। थिंक ऑफ एनी आइडिया, व्हाटएवर टॉपिक, आप किसी भी डोमेन में काम कर रहे हो, उस पे आप एक सब्जेक्ट टॉपिक डिसाइड करके और कोई किताब लिख सकते हैं। उस किताब से एक सीरियस थॉट लीडर होने का आपके बारे में एक इमेज, एक मैसेज जाता है। T. Guillemets has said that a photographer gets people to pose for him. A yoga instructor gets people to pose for themselves. हम किताब लिखें अपने बारे में, अपने विषय के बारे में, जिस विषय पे हम काम कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में, या कोई नया विषय चूज करें। और विषय की कोई सीमा नहीं होती है कि आप सपोज करो आप योगा फील्ड में हो तो आप एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में नहीं लिख सकते, ये किसी ने मना नहीं किया है। आपको अगर इंटरेस्ट है, अगर आपको सब्जेक्ट पे पकड़ है और आप स्टडी कर रहे हो तो आप लिखो। आप सिनेमा पर लिख सकते हो, आप किसी और नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी पे लिख सकते हो, लेकिन कुछ लिखें अलग, और ऐसा लिखें कि जो पढ़ा जाए, या काम ऐसा करें कि आपके बारे में लिखा जाए। तो ये दोनों अगर आप कर रहे हैं, कुछ काम भी ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि आपके बारे में भी लिखा जा रहा है, और कुछ ऐसा लिख रहे हैं कि जो पढ़ा जा रहा है, तो आप एक थॉट लीडर बन गए, आपको कोई रोक नहीं सकता। मोर देन नॉलेज बीइंग पावर, इट इज द की टू एम्पावरमेंट। द मोर यू नो, द मोर कैपेबल यू बिकम टू गेन कंट्रोल ओवर मल्टीपल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ योर लाइफ. This is why so many of our leaders do whatever they can to disempower as many people as possible. Empowered people need less guidance and direction from outside influences like them. When you are empowered, you are taking control of your own destiny, so to speak. The best thing you can do to change your life and change the world is to learn things. And true meditation is about being fully present with everything, that is including discomfort and challenges. It is not an escape from life. So I said so many things, as Vandana has said, I have very little time. So let me give a little more focused things to you. Define your audience and build your network. आप अपना नेटवर्क बनाएं और अपना ऑडियंस डिसाइड करें कि हमारा नेटवर्क ये है, हमारे ऑडियंस ये हैं. एंड डू नॉट फील लोनली, द एंटायर यूनिवर्स इज इनसाइड ऑफ यू. Add value to your youth audience with your USP, because yoga is the foundation of youth. You are only as young as your spine is flexible, as Bob Harper has said. And also learn technology, create new contents, because yoga is not about touching your toes. It is what you learn on the way down. This is what I wanted to say today. Since Vandana has appeared, I can take a clue, and I would like to finish my talk here. Thank you so much.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, जो आपने हमारा आमंत्रण स्वीकार किया और हमारे सभी दर्शकों को इतना सुंदर व्याख्यान दिया। एक हमारे कमेंट सेक्शन में बहुत से प्रश्न है। एक प्रश्न किसी का आया है कि सर आपने जैसे बताया कि हमें जो है वो ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंस क्रिएट करनी होगी, एक हम जो थॉट लीडरशिप को बिल्ड करने के लिए, तो अगर कोई व्यक्ति जिसके पास ऑनलाइन एक्सेस नहीं है, वो किस तरीके से थॉट लीडरशिप एक प्रभावशाली ढंग से कैसे बिल्ड कर सकता है? अगर उसका अभाव है तो किस तरीके से वो बिल्ड कर सकता है इन बिंदुओं के अलावा?
ऑनलाइन एक्सेस नहीं है मतलब उसके पास मोबाइल फोन नहीं है।
जी
और
जी
ये
जी।
फोन, जो सवाल पूछ रहे हैं उनके पास है मोबाइल फोन?
नहीं, वो अगर कोई ग्रामीण परिवेश से है या ऐसा है कि कोई वो एक्सेस नहीं कर सकता है तो?
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल है, एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल है। लेकिन हम देख सकते हैं कि आज सरकार ने हमारे लिए पंचायत स्तर पर एम्पावरमेंट की व्यवस्था की है, और बहुत सारे राज्यों में आप देखेंगे कि 50% से ज्यादा महिलाओं को रिजर्वेशन दिया गया है। और बिहार में तो पहली दफा जब 50% आरक्षण दिया गया था तो 50% से ज्यादा महिलाएं चुन के आ गई, क्योंकि वो खुद को एम्पावर कर रही हैं। तो कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास सोशल मीडिया नहीं है तो आप दुखी हो। आप अपने गांव के, अपने जो ब्लॉक के या पंचायत के वहां के प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करें, लेकिन आप अपनी बात समाज तक पहुंचाएं,
कहना
सोसाइटी तक पहुंचाएं। वहां से वो
बिल्कुल।
बात आगे निकलती है, क्योंकि वहां भी अगर आप अच्छा काम करेंगे तो हो सकता है कि आप स्वयं अपना सोशल मीडिया डेवलप ना करें, लेकिन आपकी चीजों को कोट करके, आपके फोटोग्राफ को लेके, आपके व्यूज को लेके लोग उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं।
बात निकलेगी तो फिर दूर तलक जाएगी, ये बात कहनी जरूरी है। जी
बिल्कुल
बहुत
बिल्कुल।
धन्यवाद सर। जी आपका
और कोई सवाल
बहुत
है तो आप
बहुत
ले
धन्यवाद
सकते हैं।
सर। नहीं नहीं सर, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जो आपने हमारा अनुरोध स्वीकार किया और आमंत्रण स्वीकार किया और हमारे बीच आज यहाँ पधारे और हमारे दर्शकों को इतना सुंदर व्याख्यान दिया। मोरारजी देसाई राष्ट्रीय योग संस्थान की तरफ से तथा स्वयं अपनी ओर से मैं आपके प्रति हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करती हूँ। इसके साथ ही साथ मैं संस्थान के निदेशक महोदय डॉक्टर ईश्वर वी बसवरेड्डी सर के प्रति भी हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करती हूँ, जो उन्होंने अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रम में से समय निकाला और हमारे बीच पधारे। आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। साथ ही हमारी
बहुत
तकनीकी
बहुत
टीम का
धन्यवाद।
और हमारे सभी दर्शकों का भी हार्दिक धन्यवाद जो आज हमारे साथ इस कार्यक्रम के लिए जुड़े। अब संस्थान की परंपरा के अनुसार कार्यक्रम का समापन शांति पाठ के साथ करेंगे। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। बहुत बहुत
धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर, बहुत
बहुत
धन्यवाद।
बहुत धन्यवाद आपका भी। धन्यवाद।